What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are here today with another episode of the Millennium Falcon Build from Fanhome. Oh, it's so cool to say that. Just for reference, the package just showed up the other day, and I've done a ton of work on the Enterprise, and now it's time to switch gears over to the Millennium Falcon, and I'm already in love with what we have to do today. So we're going to be assembling all of the pieces of the internals all the way up until parts we haven't completed. So kind of like with the Enterprise, we're going to be doing some completion work here and cleaning up some of all the excess parts that we've accumulated, and we're going to be putting them all together today. So let's go ahead and unpackage Stage 13. Oh, this is so cool. I've just been recording all day, and as a little, I guess, inside, I have completed 6 episodes of the USS Enterprise 1701D. 6 episodes. Yes. Super awesome. Alright, we have our frame section. We're not going to be using this today. As we saw in the last episode here on the Falcon, we're pretty confident now in putting together these frame sections. So, I'm going to be taking this frame section and this bottom hull panel section here, and we're going to be setting this aside, and that's going to be for a later stage. And this is all that matters to us today. So, things are falling out. Let's let them fall out. Got everything out of here. We're good to go. So, we have these. These are part of... They're pipe holders, basically. And it's going to be... You'll see where this is going to come into play here. So, they're just pipe holders. I've been making sure to really read my instructions over and over and over again before we get going on these things. So, pretty familiar with where we are. This we're not going to be using today, but I'm going to set them in here just in case. We have some connector points. These are very small sprue pieces, so I'm curious to see exactly how this is going to work. So I'll just put that there. And then these are just decorative pipes along the wall. So let's go ahead and unpackage this one here. And get moving along. This should be a fairly simple and easy build. We have the pipes. There are a couple of pipes that sit in front as well. And they sit right here, basically. And this should be a fairly simple build. We're just kind of assembling all of our pieces and our parts. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move some things out of the way here. Things that we have built, things that we have done for the last little while, which is kind of cool. I like the symmetry of kind of finishing up and tidying up some pieces. So, first things first, it's going to call for us to go ahead and finish putting the screws on the bottom down here. I don't know why it didn't have us do so in the first place, but, hey, whatever's clever. So let's grab our brass screws, and we're going to be doing all of our work today with the brass screws. Right. And that's right, this thing is not magnetic. Waiting for my new magnetic micro screwdrivers to arrive. So that's cool. We'll make do. There we go. This one didn't want to bite for a second, but it's going, I think. Yeah, it's going. Is it? There we go. I think. What I'm not going to do? Stress about that one too much, because this thing is pretty damn secure. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they got seated in place. Kitten just pushed open the door. Pushed open the door like she owns the place, and because she does. Even though there was a slight crack for her to come in and out, both of them. She's like, nope, we're pushing open this door. You don't get privacy, sir. This is my house. Did you ask if you could record all day and ignore me? Yeah, I've literally been recording all day. It's been an exercise in taking little breaks and offloading the phone, and the end of this week, I will be purchasing a new phone. Finally have an upgrade available, so it's time. I'll be picking up an S23 Ultra. I want that camera. This camera is really good on this phone, but the S23 Ultra had the best phone camera rated 2023. So instead of trying to buy a 4K camera like I did at Christmas time, I'm just going to invest in getting a new phone. It's going to be about roughly the same cost, and I'm going to be able to shoot in 8K now that that's going to be a thing that I can possibly render in. But I can shoot clearly in 8K, which is super cool. So if I ever actually like take my phone and do natural things, you know, it'll look good. Yeah, these screws are kind of tough to get in. They're self-tapping, and that's why. That's right. So we kind of got to get like creating a thread before it wants to go. So I'm gonna push in. Oh, there, that went right. Yep. There we go. Very nice. Okay. So this thing now is permanently put in place. I love it. Now, let's see here. We've already glued this piece down as well. I went ahead and just took the liberty when we did that. So now we are going to glue the Dejeric table down. We are switching back over for this model to super glue. And the reason for that is this model is made out of ABS, and model cement does not work so well. I'm surprised that it's holding here, but it's not doing the greatest job. So I'm just going to live with that. And what I'm saying is on this. This is the piece, the stage that I went ahead and used model cement on. And everything's holding, but I can kind of see why. So we're going to live with that mistake, but we're going to be using super glue for this model going forward. I have ordered some proper gel super glue, but for today we're just going to be using a regular super glue. So I'm going to be grabbing my piece of cardboard here and just using a little bit here, just enough to keep everything moving. I'm going to stand this up somewhere so that super glue doesn't roll out. And we're going to use our trusty old stick here. I haven't used this in a little while. And we're just going to run some super glue there. And then I'm going to run some super glue just inside of the little metal piece here. There we are. Let's go ahead and get that in place. And the Dejeric table is now permanently affixed in place. Super cool. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next part. And that's going to be taking that wall, actually, that we were just talking about, and sliding it into place. Oh my. Don't do that. There you go. Just kind of stay there. Be good. So these slide in. So there are these little tabs here that have like most of a triangle shape. And then at the bottoms down here, we have a little triangle shaped thing as well. And so what we're going to do is push that in until it locks into place. Let's see if we can do this. We have big hands, but that's kind of a tough grab. So let us slot this. Let's see if we can do this. It's kind of a challenging little thing to do, actually. Which is kind of surprising. Yeah, no, that didn't work. Okay, that did though. weird. That wasn't supposed to work, but it did. Okay. So it's saying, yeah, no super glue. We're going to be screwing the walls in together, so I like that. Now what we need to do is there's a little hole, a little alcove in the floor right there for the pipes to go into. We're going to just click that in, push that up again, and we're not going to be doing any more gluing there. So now we're going to be taking our short wall here, and that's going to be this one. And we're going to be slotting this one into place, just like so, just like we did the other one. Yeah. I see. Okay, so there, that's kind of a joined into place. Then we're going to take one of our screws. There's a screw hole right here. I'm going to screw this one into place. Very nice. Now these screws are self-tapping, so they're super tough to screw in, but the self-tapping means that if we don't, as long as we don't back it off, it'll never come out again. So that's a good thing. And then there's a screw hole down here on the bottom. Yeah, I'm confident enough now that I can set this up and we can show you. So I got the screw holes here. And I wonder if I can use this screwdriver for this one. That little one is just brutal on the old hand. There we go. Still though, these screw heads are super tiny, and I LOL'd kind of used the screwdriver that they provided with this model, and I was just like, no way. They expected you to build it with that. Oh, man. Stripping the head on that, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a smaller screwdriver here. Not allow the thing to strip. I'll be right back. Well, I wish I could say I didn't strip that screw, so it is what it is. It's in a hidden part. We're not going to be seeing that anyway, but yeah, that was, using this was a bad idea. And then, in the process of that, I broke that. So, yeah, this has been, I'm not going to say janky, because we know what happens when we insult the model. The model retaliates. So now we are going to take the longer piece here, and we are going to slot this one here into place. Very nice. Okay. And then does that get screwed into place as well? Yes, it does. So let's hope that I can do this side without my proper screwdriver now, unfortunately. These ones are... There we go. There we go. Yeah, we're some really tight fits over here. Alright. Looks like I'm only going to be able to, for whatever reason, down here there's a bit of overlap, so I'm not going to be able to put a screw there, but I'll be able to put a screw up top. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to put the screw up top without too much issue. Wish me luck. Yeah, the screwdriver situation is dire. hoping I can do this without breaking anything. Remember, Jordan, we don't insult the model. We love the model. There we go. See if that works. There we go. Not a chance in hell we're getting that bottom one, though. Okay. Now that's starting to go. Move our pieces out of the way here. Struggle bus. Struggle bus. Dude. Part of me is almost wish they just use glue here. The broken screwdriver for the win. I could not get this to turn with the other screwdriver, and this thing is barely hanging on, and Fat Boy's over here doing a little bit of sweating. I can tell you that right now. Oof. Okay. So this is now all put into place, and that actually looks really, really good. So there we are. Got it all nice and secured into place. Okay. So now we are going to take this piece here and we are going to assemble it on top of this piece right there. So we're going to set this up on its side now, which we can do. And let's grab a screw. I'm going to try to use my little screwdriver as much as I possibly can here. I'm going to find, there are just 2 holes, is that it? Or is it all 4? Ah, it's right here, I see. There we go. And so far we're working. I'm going to go ahead and grab another screw and put it in the other top spot just to stop it from moving around. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Still the best one for the job. It's so funny. All right. That is now finally in place. There's a bit of schmutz right there. Oh, whatever. That's all good. Let's move the junk off to the side. Now let's go ahead and see what we got next. We're going to take the wall, and this piece is the jut out part is going to be towards the fore of the ship. Let's go ahead and get that tucked in. Then going to take this piece and get it tucked in. I'm skipping over a step here. So let us step back. Sorry. So let us, we are then going, after we get that and this installed, we are going to get this piece put in. And okay, so here the instructions have gotten extraordinarily confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple of test fits, see what happens here. And yeah, it wants us to use 2 of these and stick one of them in the hole here. And then they said there's another hole, but there's not. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead. They don't even say anything about screwing this piece in together. So we're going to do that. Super weird. I'm going to criticize the model. That's a little weird. So the point of that, I believe for those mounting points, I almost lost those, is going to be to put them I don't understand. What's the point of that? So this is going to go right here and just hold these into place. So I will see what these are for. I'm going to hold this off until later. I'm not quite sure what they're wanting us to do here. It's a little strange. Okay, so we are now, I'm going to go ahead and skip over. And we are going to put our back wall into place here. Is that right? Yeah, it's right. There's a gap right here, though, so it's kind of strange. All right. I'm just going to roll with the flow. Doesn't say anything about attaching a screw here either. So, yeah, very confused. Like, that's kind of a, if I'm being real, like, it's doing what the Falcon does best. Being a little janky. And of course, we can always back these screws off if I need to. There we go. Is there one down the bottom? Yes, there is. Oop. Just gonna go ahead and use my hand to put it in there. And we'll tighten it down. Very nice. Yeah, that went together real nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep moving on. Like, I'm not sure what the whole point of those little sprue thingies were, but sure. Okay. So we're going to set this stuff off to the side here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our final sprue that we have. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect the one that's shaped like this, making sure to leave the connection tab just like that, and then this one is just flat just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean up our part real fast. Just make sure we're Cleaning up any other flash that might come off. There we are. Now we're going to grab our technical console, and the part with the hole is going to slot in. Is it going to go? Yep. Yep. Just making sure I got my ways right. And then you're going to put some glue right here, and we're going to need to get a little bit more glue here. That poor piece of cardboard. But you can't put this stuff in really any other type of like material. Put it in plastic or whatever. I have some portion cups from work, like what you get like ranch in from a pizza place. You know, manage a pizza place. A couple of them actually, and yeah, it's just melts right through, and kind of I did that and ate a hole in my desk, and I was pretty pleased. I gotta be honest, pretty pleased. Okay, so we're putting that pipe in there. That's kind of cool. It's a cool look. All right, so now after that's on, we're gonna go ahead and glue the technical station to the 2 pins on the floor here. So we got our glue out, and I'm glad we got a little bit of that glue. I'm going to put that on the pins. And now a little bit inside here where it all connects up. Okay, stay. And then we're going to go ahead and plug our console into place. I'm going to take a spot of glue. It doesn't say to do it, but I'm going to take it right behind here. Perfect. So now our technical console has been installed with the pipe coming out of the top of it. That looks pretty cool. So that portion of that's all taken care of. Now we're going to grab the last part off of our sprue, and I can finally throw this thing away if I'm being real. So which one? Yeah, there's 2 locating pins on here, and so it's super tiny. Okay. See if I can do this. Yes, I can. The amount of sprues that I have just piled up in my trash right now. You'll see later on in the Enterprise Build Series. Oh boy, some sprues were built up on there. Okay, so now we're going to take this little piece, and it looks like we're going to put it on... Where does it go? I see. So it's going to go this way, and it's going to go into the corner right there. So I'm just going to take my glue. I'm actually going to grab a little bit more glue so that most of it's absorbed in now at this point. So I got a fresh bead on top. Dip that in there. Grab my tweezers. I don't know if tweezers are necessary for this. I don't know if tweezers are, I'd say. Just can't see down into that corner very well. Oh, there we go. So maybe some tweezers would be good. Yeah, tweezers don't really work for this. Hopefully I can get this down in there. Oof. So hard to see down in there. Hold on. is. There it is. Alright. Okay, that's cool. So just kind of a little pipe there in the corner. So nice. That part of the hold is complete. And we're getting close to the end of this one, my friends. It's been a little bit longer than I was expecting. But, you know, that's usually how this rolls. So we are going to take 2 of the thin pipes and then lay them down against the pipe support right here. And we're just going to lay those down. I'm not going to be gluing them into place. I don't know why it was wanting us to do that. You know, I'm going to go ahead and grab one and see if it has a reason. So, nope. All right. Wow, that's super tiny. And I'm going to put a tiny little bit of glue on the end here. There's a hole here. Move these out of the way. Oh, it's not a screw. I see. What they want us to do here is remove the screws. Oh, yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have screws sitting right in the middle of the hold. So what those are... these directions just don't make any sense. I just, yeah. Jesus, Jordan. Yep. Literally, directions made total sense. So, put a spot of glue there. Go through there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of super glue and put it right up here at the top of this panel. And hold it together real quick. We'll be right back. Alright, there we go. That makes total sense as to why those were there. Jordan, read your instructions. Yeah, this is me. This is what we do. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back to what we're doing here. We're going to go and set these pieces back into place. Then what we do is we're going to glue. What are we doing? So we're going to take one of these and put its ends with some glue right there. And then on this flat thing here. There we go. And what we're going to do with this first one is we're going to slot it into place right here. Is it properly going in? There it goes. Perfect. Okay. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and hold this in place for a second. We'll be right back. Alright, that's nice down put into place. So now we're going to take one of our weird little tubes here and we're going to get some glue along the inside here. And this one is going to sit on this little rail and go right into place there. Then, there we go. We are going to take the other one and same thing. And it's just going to sit on top right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the remaining posts and get them fit into place. And we're coming up here on the end, my friends. This has been a really, really, really cool stage. I am just having a blast with this today. Man, it's been a whole day of about 9 hours of solid building today. And I got some more to do. Got some busy stuff happening at work here in the coming up weeks, and I need to make sure I'm well ahead of content right now, and so it's grind time. I'm already a little ahead, but not like this. Especially with getting these two models back into the rotation. There we go. Very nice. Very good. There we go. Now, let's do the same thing here. Okay, put this one into place. There we go. Hold that for a second. There we go. We're almost done here. This is super cool. I'm glad we're assembling this piece. I really want to display it and get it all dusty and everything. So, yeah, this is super cool. I'm really pleased. Happy that we're working on this right now. That snap down if I can get that one in. There we go. Okay, so hold that one down for a second. All right, and then our last piece today. Awesome, you guys. This has been great. I just want to say thank you. I know there was a million things y'all could have been doing today, and instead you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, which is pretty damn cool in my opinion. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And look at that. And just like, we have these weird pipe things that I'm assuming are going to get a lid on the other side to keep that from doing that. So we have completed the inside of the hole for everything that we've already accumulated to this point. And so, my friends, we have kind of hit a bit of an accomplishment. I am super excited about it. So, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And my friends, until we see each other again, just remember that the Force will be with you always.